Good morning! Today I'm going to try my hand at Lussekatter. It is a Swedish pastry made at Christmas, and I'm going to have Swedish meatballs for dinner. So we're going to have a themed Swedish meal, and we have a fun activity tonight where we're going to be looking at baby books with my daughters. So this is the recipe from the Jackie Lawson Advent Calendar site. And I'm not actually using this recipe because it wasn't really precise enough for me. So I'm using another recipe which I'll put on the blog. Let's go see what I'm doing in the kitchen. So here I have saffron infused milk, which I've sprinkled yeast upon so that it can gather its strength to help me make these Lussekatter. The saffron is so interesting. It comes in these little red threads. You can see them in the pot. And it gives it a beautiful color, and I think it's going to give it a very distinct taste. So next on the menu is to use my KitchenAid for the actual dough. So I've got my flour here, and then over here I've done all my preparations. I have ground the cardamom seeds, and I've got the sugar and the salt, and we're ready to go. I'll let you know. All right, we're kneading the dough. I kneaded it, I sort of pre-kneaded it in the KitchenAid, in the mixer, and now I'm just kneading it so that it's soft, and I'm going to put it into a ball and let it rise a little bit, or hope that it rises. Okay, rise little dough, rise. All right, so the dough has risen to twice its size. I punched it down and I kneaded it a little bit, and now I have to make 14-inch rolls. Let's see. For the Lussekatter, after you roll the dough into a long thin tube, then you curl each end in different directions, and I'm going to let this rise for another half an hour. But of course I need to do all the rest. I'll show you when I'm done. So here I have just a little bit of dough left, and I'm going to show you the process of making the actual Lussekatter. So the first thing is I'm going to break off a piece of the dough, and I'm going to roll it into a little ball, and I'm actually going to weigh it. It needs to be between 60 and 70 grams. So that one's 58, so I'm going to add a little bit. Oops, did that say 63? All right, well, let's try it again. Let's see how much it is. 67, perfect. All right, then I'm just going to begin to roll it into the little cylinder. I'm avoiding using the word snake because my daughter has an aversion, so I don't like to talk about it. It takes a little bit to get them to the right length. They need to be about 14 inches. So I just keep rolling. Rolling. You can see that these are also called St. Lucia saffron buns. They're Lussekatters, Lussekatter, but in some recipes they are generally made on, I think, December 13th, which is St. Lucia Day, which is a special saint for the Swedish. And on that day, young women in the village wear beautiful green wreaths on their heads and some of them, it shows them with candles in the wreaths, and white dresses. So it's a lovely procession that happens in the town. Okay, let's measure it, see if it's 14 inches. It is, all right. Now I'm going to see where is the middle point, so I'm just gonna check. There we go, that's the midpoint. And then I'm going to roll it up to the midpoint here, and then over here, I'm going to roll it up to the midpoint. Okay, so it looks like that. And come over here and let me show you. My pan of Lussekatters. All right, here's the Lussekatters. I had to let them rise another 30 minutes after I shaped them. Now I just put an egg wash on them, And then the last step is to put the little raisins into the S's, the little S shapes. And then we're going to pop them in the oven. And here we have the finished product, the Lussekatter Swedish breakfast pastries that we're going to have for dessert. My family and I tasted them, and they taste lovely, and they're definitely done. They just are not very sweet, so I can see why they're a breakfast pastry. I have a few other tips about how to make them, and I'll put those in my blog. So I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas to all my readers. I feel so grateful for you, and I would appreciate it if you would read what I write today, because I really want to thank you in a very special way. Thanks. Merry Christmas.